And you guys are not going to believe what I did this weekend. So I got a phone call from Chris, and he starts out kind of by snickering a little bit. He said, "Hey, I got a deal for you." And I said, "Okay, that's a little bit weird, but let's talk about it." So the silver fox that you had seen in some of my videos, it belongs to a friend of ours, Robert. Apparently he was building a barbecue grill and was cutting on it with some kind of cutting tool or other and got metal in his eye, and he couldn't drive his race car. Chris said, "Hey, Robert wants you to drive his car so we can get the tune-up ironed out for the race next weekend," which by the time you are viewing this video, it's already next weekend. My bad. So, for the first time in 20 some odd years or somewhere thereabouts, I am driving a NITROUS car. Let me tell you, that is a little bit weird. That's kind of like putting your underwear on backwards. Taking a step back, if you will, kind of back into the caveman days, a carburetor and NITROUS coming from a fuel-injected turbocharged car. Anyways, let's talk about that. So, I'm going to show you the first pass. And keep in mind, this is the first time I've even sat in the driver's seat of this car, much less gone really fast down the track in it. They had a baby tune-up in it, not because of me driving it, but because we're trying to get a tune-up ironed out for a index race that's coming up the following weekend, or by the time you are reading it or seeing this weekend. There's somewhere around a 470 to 50 cap in this race, and the rules are kind of unclear, but we're trying to get somewhere in that ballpark. And the car is not mine, so bear with me. I can't really share the times with you, but you can kind of get an idea of it. The thing is fast, and it's a big old motor. You know, it's a big block Chevrolet Dominator, single plate kit on it right now for this race, and it's fun. It was great. I had a good time driving this car. Anyways, so I'm driving this thing. I look like a total rookie, and you're going to see inside the car. First pass, uneventful, goes right on down through there like it's nothing. Two things that I do that, man, I got in the car and I told myself not to do this, and I did it anyways. I reach for the shifter because my car is not... it's manually shifted. This car is not manually shifted, and I still reach for the shifter, and I do it all 3 passes, which, I hadn't learned yet, but I'll remember next time, I promise. Anyways, and then to top it all off, when I go through the lights, I waited too long to hit the parachute, and then when the parachute finally deploys, you can't feel it, and it's just mainly because it's a Simpson style parachute, and I'm not a fan of those in any circumstance. But anyways, here's the first pass. Check it out. Tell me what you think.
Well, I think that was a pretty good pass, but the parachute felt like it took forever to come out. And it felt like I was kind of hauling ass too, so I guess we'll see here in a minute.
Okay, so we're up for the second pass, and I'm not doing anything on the tuning on this car. This is all Chris. This is a car that he put together for Robert, did all the work on, and all that neat stuff. So I'm just here to drive the car and drive the car only. You know, of course I assist on the maintenance and whatnot between rounds, but So Chris put some power in the car, and car goes right on down through there just like it's nothing. But I don't know if you can see it in the video, but when Chris is standing on the line, I'm already pulling up towards him from about, I don't know, 40 feet away or so. And he looks over the car and he acknowledges to Robert that the car is straight. And Robert's he's looking through the camera, so he doesn't have a good eye on it. Well, the car's not really straight. And in the video, you can see that it's clearly pointed left. And the car favors the center line all the way down the track. Now, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have stayed in it as long as I did. It didn't ever get that feeling in it that it was reckless and, unsafe and all that stuff. So I stayed in it. I did blip the gas once to get the car to try to accept the steering input that I was giving it and trying to get it a little bit closer to the center of the track, or the center of my lane, and it really wasn't having it. I ended up letting off a little early and hitting the parachute, probably going through the lights. So all in all, it was still a good pass. It was within a few hundredths of the first pass, and it's probably about a tenth faster. So the thing flies. I'm here to tell you, it's as fast as Bob is, at least on this setup. Now, when he puts the big pills in it, it's faster than Bob. Anyways, here's that run. Check that one out.
Yeah, she got a little bit loose on that when I had to pump the gas to get it to come back straight. Probably pretty close to the cones. And they're not gonna like that, but that's okay.
All right, here is the third and final pass. This one was doomed from the beginning, and I am not quite sure. Chris and I have looked at the video a few times, and there's only two things that we can come up with. Well, first off, let me explain what happened. The car left the line, and it pulled the wheels off the ground pretty quick, and it was probably going to do a pretty stinking long wheelie and probably a pretty high wheelie. So it was probably not going to be a full pass in the first place. But second of all, if you'll notice from both views of the car, or both views of the camera, the car goes to the right with the front wheels in the air, which is really uncharacteristic for this car and just, you know, in general, that just doesn't happen a lot. So the only two things we can come up with in this case are that the right tire has a different amount of air in it. And this car has a lot of anti-squat in it, so it wads the tires up pretty bad. And we can't really do anything about the anti-squat yet. That's coming later on, I think, probably this winter. The other thing that we have theorized is that there was probably or possibly some kind of very small amount of liquid under the right tire, and it's pushing the car that way. So that's the only thing we can come up with. But check that pass out, or that part of a pass, and you can see I let off of it quick because it was not going to be good. So here we go. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. I appreciate it. And checking out my shirt that's got dog hair all over it. My dog attacked me. Anyways, big thanks to Robert for letting me drive his car. That was actually pretty fun. And got to knock some of the cobwebs out of me and get back in the driver's seat and get warmed up for when Bob is ready. Depending on how Robert does during the week and for this coming weekend, which is, again, by the time you see this video, if his eye is better, then he will be driving. If he's not, then I may be driving again. Anyways, thanks again, guys, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and all that neat stuff, and we will see you in the next video.